Power rarely announces itself. It moves quietly, through signatures, silence, and trust misplaced. In this world, loyalty is temporary, truth is negotiable, and leadership is decided long before anyone takes the seat. What looks like succession is often strategy. What feels like justice is sometimes timing. This is not a story about who deserves power, but about who understands it first. Everyone gathered to bid farewell to Chairman Kang under a steady rain. Yet the atmosphere felt wrong. There were no tears, only smiles, drinks, quiet celebrations disguised as mourning. Kang Seo-Hyun, the chairman's daughter, noticed immediately. She scanned the crowd and whispered, "Isn't this a burial? Why does it feel like a victory party?" Nearby, Kang Do-gyun, the late chairman's younger brother, moved effortlessly among key stakeholders, shaking hands, exchanging measured smiles. Across the hall, Kang Min-Jae, the eldest son, laughed casually with attorney Seo-Hyun, the company's long-standing legal counsel. Power was already circulating. Grief was optional. The CEO's seat could not remain vacant. A board meeting was scheduled immediately. That morning, the boardroom felt unfamiliar, not because the chairman was gone, but because no one knew who would control what remained. At the far end of the table sat Uncle Do-gyun, calm and composed, offering gentle nods to the grieving children. He looked like stability. He looked like experience. Attorney Yu entered with a sealed envelope. Silence followed. The will was read. Kang Min-Jae was appointed acting CEO of Kang Group. The room barely reacted. Only Uncle Kang Do-gyun noticed what was missing. His name. Outwardly, he remained composed. Internally, the decision was unacceptable. No shares, no authority, no succession clause. But Uncle Do-gyun understood something his brother's children never did. Control doesn't come from inheritance. It comes from division. The Kang siblings lacked unity. They had never trusted one another. So he decided to fracture what little cohesion remained. Uncle Do-gyun approached Attorney Yu privately. His offer was simple: future equity, board influence, permanent leverage inside Kang Group. In return, he wanted loyalty. The lawyer hesitated briefly, then accepted. The first move was already in motion. Kang Group was South Korea's dominant luxury fashion house, undefeated for years at the annual Seoul Luxury Showcase. Its fiercest rival was Haesung Corporation, always close, never winning. This year was supposed to be no different, until Haesung unveiled its flagship product. A luxury shoe, identical to Kang Group's unreleased design. Shock rippled through the hall. Kang Group had invested heavily in that design. Months of secrecy, millions in development. There was no backup. Cornered, they presented it anyway. For the first time in the company's history, their presentation was rejected. Haesung accused Kang Group of plagiarism. The story exploded nationwide. Shares plunged. Investors panicked. Sales collapsed. Confidence evaporated. Kang Group didn't just lose a competition. It lost credibility. Public blame fell quickly on Kang Min-Jae, the acting CEO. As investors withdrew, Director Kang, the uncle, stepped forward. Calm, reassuring, authoritative. He spoke like a savior. The market listened. The acting CEO, Min-Jae, had personally overseen the design under extreme security. The leak made no sense. An internal investigation followed. The head of design was arrested, then released. Haesung Corporation claimed full legal ownership of the design. The damage was irreversible. At the next board meeting, the conclusion was cold and efficient. For the sake of stability and growth, the acting CEO, Min-Jae, was asked to step down. Director Kang was nominated instead. 45 years of experience, deep investor trust, a steady hand in crisis. Compared to him, the chairman's son was simply too young, too untested, and now expendable. Before the vote could proceed, the eldest daughter, Seo-Hyun, stood. Her voice was controlled but sharp. "This crisis didn't happen because my brother is incompetent," she said. "It happened because someone inside this company betrayed us. In Kang Group's history, we've never removed a leader mid-crisis. He deserves time to identify the leak." The room shifted. Director Kang smiled mildly. "I'm not interested in the position," he said. "My only concern is stability." It sounded noble. It was calculated. He already knew the board was moving in his direction. All he needed was to neutralize the current CEO. Later that day, Director Kang requested a private meeting with the acting CEO, Min-Jae. He spoke softly, almost gently. "You're carrying too much," he said. "The board is preparing to remove you. I know you didn't cause this, but perception doesn't care about intent." Min-Jae said nothing. "For now," Director Kang continued, "let me temporarily hold your voting rights. I can shield you at the next meeting. Once the crisis cools, everything returns to you. You're still the heir. I'm just protecting the company." He slid a document across the table. "Crisis Stabilization Proxy Agreement." It looked harmless. The eldest son, Min-Jae, didn't read the fine print. He signed. Inside the clause he never saw, all voting rights and share authority transferred immediately, irreversible without trustee approval. Uncle Do-gyun closed the folder slowly and smiled. Within hours, the document was filed. The proxy transfer was official. The crisis deepened. Media headlines turned hostile. Influencers mocked the brand. Fashion blogs labeled Kang Group imitators. The stock fell further. An emergency board meeting was called. The criteria were clear: stability, experience, market confidence, political reach. Only one name fit. Again, Director Kang stood, pretending reluctance. "I don't want power," he said. "I only want the company to survive." The board insisted. The acting CEO, Min-Jae, tried to speak. A board member cut him off. "You no longer have voting authority," he said. "You transferred it temporarily to your uncle." Silence. The eldest son, Min-Jae, finally understood. His mother froze. His siblings stared. Tears slid down Mrs. Kang's face. The youngest son lashed out, accusing Min-Jae of humiliating the family. The eldest daughter, Seo-Hyun, whispered, "If father were alive, this wouldn't be happening." Attorney Yu spoke last. "By legal record, Kang Min-Jae holds no voting rights. This automatically appoints Director Kang as acting CEO of Kang Group." The decision was final. Uncle Do-gyun smiled. He believed he was untouchable. That evening, Mrs. Kang Soo-jim, the late CEO's wife, went to confront him at his residence. She dismissed the staff and faced him alone. "What have you done?" she demanded. "Why are you destroying your brother's heir? Why are you taking what we built?" She vowed she would not stand by and watch. Uncle Do-gyun finished his wine and smiled. "I didn't frame him," he said calmly. "I learned from the best." Her confusion showed. He stepped closer and whispered, "Don't forget, the accident report still exists." Her face drained of color. 8 years ago. It was supposed to be a private alumni foundation event. The youngest son, Kang Ji-woo, had been drinking, not drunk, just careless. On an empty road, he hit a delivery man. He panicked, checked the body, got back into the car, drove away. The victim survived. The investigation didn't. CCTV footage disappeared. Witness records vanished. Mrs. Kang erased everything, with Uncle Do-gyun's help, to protect the family and the company. Afterward, the youngest son was sent overseas, for safety, for silence. Uncle Do-gyun leaned back. "Let's see who lasts longer," he said quietly. "I planned this, and I'm already winning." Director Kang submitted the evidence to the police, framing it as corporate compliance. Publicly, Kang Group was fully cooperating. Privately, he was setting the final narrative. The police responded. The case fell squarely within their jurisdiction. They reopened the file. Original CCTV footage, a preserved autopsy report, records that had once disappeared, restored. It was enough. Kang Ji-woo, the former CEO's youngest son, was arrested. So was Mrs. Kang Soo-jin, charged with orchestrating the cover-up. The headlines praised Director Kang. He was seen working closely with authorities, exposing long-buried crimes within the company. In press briefings, he positioned himself as a reformer. Under his leadership, he promised transparency, zero tolerance for corruption, institutional reform, regulators approved, investors stabilized. What the evidence did not include was his own involvement. Believing the past had been erased, Director Kang consolidated control. For 4 months, he ran Kang Group unchallenged. At a shareholders' meeting, he stood confidently before the board. He spoke of sacrifice, of difficult decisions, of saving the company from itself. Then a voice cut through the room. "What if all of this was your plan?" The silence was immediate. The eldest daughter, Seo-Hyun, stood and walked toward the CEO's seat. "What if you orchestrated the collapse?" she continued. "What if you sold our designs so you could take control?" Attorney Yu rose to object. She stopped him. "My father built this company from nothing. He trusted you to protect it, and after his death you destroyed it, then called it reform." Before anyone could respond, the doors opened. Prosecutors entered, accompanied by a senior police officer. The officer read the charge: illegal sale of Kang Group intellectual property to a rival firm. The prosecutor followed with evidence: written statements, corroborated testimony, transaction records. The boardroom erupted. Stakeholders stood furious, accusing Director Kang, the uncle, for engineering the company's downfall. The prosecutor restored order. Pending investigation, the acting CEO would be detained for questioning. The arrest dominated the news cycle. The same media that once praised him now questioned everything. Under interrogation, Uncle Do-gyun denied the allegations. He presented himself as a principled executive, a man trying to rescue a failing empire. But a written statement told a different story. Months earlier, he had approached a mid-level designer. In exchange for a confidential design, he promised job security, promotion, protection. He assured her it would all be justified once he became CEO. After gaining control, he broke every promise. He blamed her, threatened her, used her as a shield. Overcome with guilt, the designer surrendered herself. She handed over call records, a flash drive containing the stolen designs, internal correspondence. The police placed her under protection. With her cooperation secured, formal charges were filed. At his first court appearance, cameras crowded the steps. "I will win this case," Uncle Do-gyun declared. "These charges are false." Inside, the courtroom was packed. Shareholders, executives, lawyers, media. This was only a preliminary hearing. The prosecutor outlined the case: intellectual property theft, market manipulation, abuse of executive authority. The defense countered, blaming prior management and portraying Uncle Do-gyun as the company's last line of defense. Then, the defense requested the key witness. The room waited. She didn't appear. Her phone was unreachable. Seo-Hyun, the eldest daughter, felt panic, not because the case was weakening, but because someone may have silenced the mid-level designer meant to testify. Across the room, Uncle Do-gyun turned slowly. He met his niece's eyes and smiled.